Loving greetings, dear sisters and brothers. At the outset, congratulations. You all are progressing very well in this course. Do hope you are enjoying the journey thus far. We now move on to a very important section. We're going to be looking at the script which we shall use when chanting Vedas. This is known as the International Alphabet of Sanskrit Transliteration. And like a GPS, this will guide us through pronunciation, intonation, and how we can ensure that we can express these beautiful sacred syllables in the best manner. So let us look at pronunciation first. When the letter is written singular, it is pronounced just as the singular sound, a. However, when we see that there's a horizontal line above the letter, as in the case of this particular a, the sound stretches, so it becomes ah. A becomes ah. U with a horizontal above it becomes oo. So this can be applied to several letters, which you will see through many examples. We now move on to a very important section known as intonation. Intonations are the heart of the Vedas, for when we chant in the correct intonation, the beautiful energy of the Vedas starts to manifest within us and around us. Imagine somebody comes to the door and this person is visiting after several years, and you have a lot of love and endearment for this person. You open the front door and you say, "Hello, you have arrived, you have come." Now, let's say a few hours later, somebody knocks on your door, and this time it's somebody whom you may have had a conflict with in the past. And you say the same words, the same sentence, but the tone is different. And you say, "Hello, you have arrived. You have come?" Notice that it's the same letters, the same sentence, but the tone is different, the intent is different, the vibration is different. Hence, when we chant Vedas, though the letters may be spelt, written the same, the intonation can be very different. So, how we perceive the intonation and how we express is most vital and critical. When we use a tanpura, it provides us a reference point of the middle scale. Vedas is actually much easier than classical music. In classical music, there are 7 notes. Sa re ga ma pa da ni. In Vedas, there are just 3. The middle scale, the high scale, and the low scale. And there's one other exceptional sound which we will come to later. To guide us and assist us, let us use a tanpura sound. In this particular case, we shall use the scale D. This is more or less the middle scale between the male vocal range and the female vocal range. Let us chant Om on this scale. Om. The sound of Om should match that scale. So that is your middle sound. Let us continue. As mentioned, we use the tanpura and it provides us the middle sound. If, for example, a letter is written with no sign above it, no sign below it, no sign beside it, then the intonation is a middle sound. If, for example, there is a vertical line just above the letter or syllable, the intonation is a high sound. If, for example, the sound is low, intonation is low, this will be indicated by a horizontal line below the letter or syllable. Now, let us look at pronunciation combined with intonation. We have a horizontal line above the letter. Remember that this indicates the pronunciation. When the horizontal line is above the letter, we are stretching the sound. becomes ah. And when the horizontal line is below the letter, it's indicating intonation. So here we have a double sound ah, and the sound is going low. Wonderful. Let's continue. Now that we know the theory of the intonation, the pronunciation, the combination, let us take the theory and put it into a practical example. The first line of the Sri Rudram Namakam, Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya, it should send shivers down our spine because it is one of the few chants in the ocean of the Vedas where the very first line is greeting the Lord immediately, which means the very first line we're recognizing that the Lord Rudra's presence is before us and we're saying, greetings to you, Lord. Namo Namaha, Namaste. So when we're chanting any verses from the Vedas, let us use a tanpura in the background. The tanpura ensures that we always maintain the correct scale. It is just the middle scale, the correct shruti, the correct key, the correct pitch. So let us put a tanpura sound on, which is scale D, which is the middle sound between a male vocal range and a female vocal range. It's quite a comfortable sound, not too high, not too low. We're going to play it a bit loudly. That is our starting scale, which we can also chant Om on. Om. Do practice chanting Omkaram on a Tanpura scale. It will help refine your hearing and your chanting. Om. Om is middle. Let's observe and look at this beautiful line. Let us divide certain syllables and observe, are they going high, are they going low, or are they middle sound? We have Om, middle, Na, middle, Mo, middle, Ba, middle, Ga, middle, Va, middle. All of these sounds, O, Na, Mo, Ba, Ga, Va, middle sound, because there's no vertical line above the syllable or horizontal line below the syllable indicating high or low. It is simply middle sound. However, look at te. Te has a vertical sign above it which indicates the intonation is going high. Rud is middle. Now we have ra. There's a horizontal above it which is indicating the stretching of the sound from ra to ra, and it has a horizontal below it which is indicating the intonation is going low. And here is simply middle. So the sound of this particular verse, Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya, Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya, Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Beautiful. In this particular line, we were able to apply middle intonation sound. Intonation sound when it's going high, intonation sound when it's going low, as well as when there's a stretching of the sound from a to a, and when it's going low. Rudraya. We will go through many examples and it will become much more clearer as we go along this wonderful journey. Thank you.